Hey guys, Dazzler Magic here, and it's time for a little story. Yes, I changed the name of the series so that YouTube doesn't confuse it with kids content. They keep saying AI is so smart. That has not been my experience. Anyway, 100% true story. This actually happened, and I checked whatever kind of statute of limitations. It's already up, because this was quite a while ago. In fact, I just did the math. Yeah, I was a little over 10, but I was the head IT manager of a place. And the GM and the CEO said, hey, we heard about in this thing online, which they got all kinds of wild ideas from things they heard online and from books and stuff. But in this case, they were right. They wanted to do a phishing test where basically, as like a phishing training thing, and they want to know who the weak points are and who's, a giant walking security vulnerability at the company. So what you do is you send out your own fake phishing email where you pretend to be PayPal, you pretend to be, open this ACH thing, a deposit or a thing went negative, you better open this attachment, and then it's like staged by an outside company and you click on it and then they just log who got caught and they're like, hey, this could have been a real email. You probably shouldn't click on just anything or open just anything, any Word document or whatever attachment. And then you send those people to training. And it was like pretty cheap. And I'm like, okay, whatever, it's in the budget, let's do it. Now, what they did is they had some templates. And you could choose what was it? Like difficulty level or like how likely it is to fool somebody historically. And some of the high ones were pretty good, but I despised the people who just came in and I don't really know computers. Okay, well, we don't use paper here. You're required to use email, so you better use at least that safely, okay? And to even do your job, you better know how to type. I do not like people that just had that attitude. It's not even about skill level or demographic or anything. It's about you can't do your job at the same rate, but you're making the same pay rate as everybody else. And the last straw would be also you are a giant security vulnerability for the company. Like there's this one guy, he caught a virus like 3 times. I just said, can we just fire him? He's not going to get any less careless. Turns out he wasn't a very good salesman either, because when you don't want to learn one thing, it turns out you don't want to learn much else about your job, like how to do it better. But anyway, mini rant over, I wanted to hit these people hard. So I took their best one and then made it even worse. So it was like a toll thing, like a tollway, like you have a toll unpaid, whatever. Sounds fake. Why the hell would they have your work email? Although we did have people travel, but usually not like that far. It depended on the project, so I didn't feel too bad. So I kind of combined the name of 2 different states' toll companies, and I tweaked their little template and, changed the URL, made it really convincing, made sure there was no spelling errors. I even changed it so there was a paragraph break where it said 1 violation, 2 unpaid, or, whatever it was. And then no attachment, nothing, no funny Russian URLs. So as soon as we launched it, the first person to get hit was the CEO. I'm not even kidding. I think it was 8 seconds. And I'm like, when does the CEO ever go out in the field? I'm actually curious. You will not find them on a job site unless, I don't know, somebody's ready to sue us or something. I don't know. Or if they think they can get away and play golf with the people. There's a reason I left that job a long time ago. Part of it was my shop. Part of it was YouTube. Part of it was because I couldn't stand those people and they almost went bankrupt every single year I worked there. So what a great idea for them to do the test. I guess I didn't warn them that it was coming. And I thought it was hilarious that they had to enroll in the training about how not to click on malicious links or suspicious emails. Ironically, it was really crap training. It was not very accurate. It was more general instead of practical. So it was great if you already had IT knowledge, you know what I mean? Now at this point, we had rolled out all 7, which 7's pretty good, but we still had 1 or 2 XP machines for shared use. It wasn't in the budget to swap them. So you can imagine how long ago this was. And Windows 7 Defender wasn't that great. Windows 10 was a lot better. So you were a bit of a target right around there. Malware was getting pretty mean. So you click on the wrong thing, you could take down our whole network. Ransomware wasn't that big back then, but it existed. So now we're 4 minutes into the story. Remember the title of the video? So some of the wiser people, some of the more computer savvy ones, hilariously enough, it was a lot of the older employees. They hit the report button properly, to report spam or report to the system or whatever. Or I think that system, you just had to forward it to me. But the thing got a 40-some% open rate over 200 or 300 people. You've got to be kidding me. And I'm like, yeah, send it to mandatory training. These people are awful. Who would click on this? Some accounting and payables people are kind of mad because they're like, yeah, we do get these occasionally for really special long distance, really big projects. I'm like, oh yeah, well, okay. Probably doesn't look like this. And did you notice the name and the logo were different? No excuses. So one of the people did not report it to me. They reported it directly to the company. because it was so realistic that they went to like so-and-so whatever, toll company and said, hey, somebody's impersonating you. And they said, can you forward us the email? We investigate all these things. And so they forwarded them the email. Now remember, I had stripped off a lot of the code. I did not use the template that I'm sure had embedded in the message headers or something. Hey, this is a test from so-and-so security company. Nah, I pretty much wrote this. I mean, at least the body, I redid some of the HTML. But that was the thing they let me do. I didn't hack the file and replace it. And so they started this big investigation, and it hadn't gotten back to me yet until they told me that I think it was a week later. But they had gotten a reply from the company saying, hey, we haven't seen something quite like this before, and we're investigating it. I don't remember specifically if they mentioned that they very specifically got the FBI involved, but I think it did. What's the point of doing an internal investigation? They aren't big enough of a company. It's a government thing. They probably just handed it off to more government people, aka the FBI, or at least the state police, but it's international now. Or interstate, not international. So a week later, somebody was doing the mandatory training, and they're like, what are you doing? They'll do the training because I got caught by that stupid, toll booth fake email security thing. Oh, I guess the company's doing that now, and I gotta sit through this 10-minute training video. And then they're like, wait, that was a fake? And they're like, yeah, Des sent it out. Yeah, the CEO wanted to do an audit thing. I think actually the insurance company wanted us to do it to insure our low rate or something like that. Came in handy when the tornado came through. We got 2 days of downtime insurance. Pretty good insurance company, but they want to make sure, if ransomware or damage or downtime was included. In fact, that actually makes sense. It probably was them. If it was included, then we better not, do it to ourselves. You know what I mean? I think they also did an external penetration test, and when they did it, I just turned the modem off. Or no, the router off. I left the modem on. And they're like, wow, we didn't find any vulnerabilities. I'm like, yeah, didn't you? We actually had a pretty strong firewall. I just didn't need that much more stuff to do in a day. But yeah, they got back to me and they're like, okay, so I just sent them a follow-up email. They CC'd me on it. And this is the first time hearing about it. They're like, hey, so that thing that you're investigating now that you already forwarded to the FBI. Yeah, that was made by our own company / a security company as a phishing test. And basically the reply from the other company was oh, okay, yeah, I gotta go cancel some things. Thanks. Yeah, I gotta go make some phone calls real quick. And I'm thinking was the origin IP on this? Was it a third party? Are they going to include in the report that we did it or just tell them to close it? Never heard from the FBI about it, but if they wouldn't have fessed up, if they would have just been oh, I reported that, I better not, poke my head up and tell them that happened, it probably would have gotten back to me at some point, and the FBI would have made a little phone call and asked me, hey, what's this? Or they would have come poking around hey, you're the only company that got hit by this. Usually it's nationwide. But yeah, it was a one-off custom. I mean, yeah, that could have gone really poorly. I think now at this point it's hilarious. And now that I'm finally back working IT, that's my new job, by the way, which is why I'm making a little less videos, but I'm hoping to make enough money on my other channels or this one if magic comes back, yeah, right, to go back to doing this full time. It just never was enough money, and I lost tons of money by not being able to work during COVID and stuff. It's been a bad couple of years financially. And right now, as you can imagine, it's mid-February, I'm working on my taxes. It's bad. But the silver lining is, at least I don't have to worry about getting arrested from the FBI. I didn't do anything illegal. It's just, they take these investigations seriously. But, yeah, the funny thing I was about to say, come on. Yeah, we do phishing tests once in a while at my current company. This time I didn't write a very convincing one. It was some Bitcoin banking nonsense. 2 people clicked on it out of a lot. And in my opinion, those 2 people should be fired. Just on principle. Not re-educated, just fired. There's no helping them. Why would you get a Bitcoin or banking email on your work email? Why wouldn't you just load it on your phone or something or go directly to the website instead of clicking a link? I do really wonder about those 2 people. I've never met them. They work off-site, but I don't know, maybe we're going to have some words if they fall for another one. So hey, no matter where you work, insurance companies are starting to require this, way more so than they were 14 years ago or whatever, so watch out. And honestly, not even just for getting caught. You should be more afraid of the actual phishing emails. I'm partially in charge of security, and I had to write some little borderline AI scripts to start stripping off attachments and stuff, because we got some stuff getting through that's very dangerous. It's not your typical 2004, your Russian prince, this, that, international bank wire, everything spelled wrong and it came from Hotmail. No, this is pretty sophisticated crap. Like they've got like the people's positions who work at our company. They're like, hey, so-and-so told me that this is in the clear and you can pay it now. Here's the attached invoice. And they're just looking for like a $300 from the payables department. Luckily, those people have their heads screwed on straight. But yeah, that crap's dangerous and it will get you fired if you fall for something like that or infect the entire company with ransomware. And if you look into the actual like disclosures afterwards, if somebody's willing to like say what really happened with these big hacks, like the one that just happened a couple days ago, I'm not even gonna name the company name. Yeah, it was like Cheryl down in payables or whatever, clicking on a link. Well, in fact, did that just happen to Reddit too? They admitted that it was a targeted phishing thing. Yeah, it's probably what am I seeing a lot at work? It's the I want to say Unisec or Unskep or something like that. Obfuscated JavaScript rendering thing where they just send an HTML file and then it renders as a credential login and they just hope you're running Microsoft. Yeah, pretty dirty. Pretty dirty. I was at work a little late after one of those got through our filter, warning people via like personal cell phones in the HR database, hey, don't open this. It's a virus. Then I had to write a custom script in Kusto to get rid of it because they were already delivered. I don't know Kusto. I learned it real quick. Anyway, that's just the ending was just for fellow IT people where you're like, oh God. But yeah, that's the story of how the FBI almost, busted down my door. Was like, why are you sending out phishing emails, brah? So thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Also, if you stayed this late in the video, we're finally planning it. I have the assets done. The casino video, how to always win at a casino. It's coming. Be prepared. I should have it done in 3 weeks.